Wasabi! You guessed it right. I am doing another Toroline string review. And that string is Wasabi. I swear, I know that this is my third string review, but I didn't mean to intend it for. Just a heads up, I technically had tried this string already in K-pop, where Wasabi was in the mains and caviar was in the crosses. You can see that string review over there. So anyways, let's get back to the video.
Strings and marketing. Toroline Wasabi comes in multiple colors: neon pink, neon green, and pomegranate red. For this playtest, I tried the neon pink color and strung it up at 48 pounds, and it comes only in gauge of 1.23 millimeters. It is marketed as a square-shaped poly, which really grips the ball and allows for loads of spin, offering massive spin and control with every shot while dampening it. It is said by their string guru that their pomegranate red plays the softest. First, as always, let's talk about spin potential. And I'll say first, it was quite massive. Being a 4-sided poly, this yielded great spin potential, even more so than Toroline Snapper, almost comparable to Solinko's Hyper G. Cough hinted. That will be my next string review. Anyways, back to spin potential. The strings really helped shape my ball and made my ball spin on a dime. Due to being a 4-sided poly, it helped generate a lot of pinpoint accuracy on angular shots, controlling it with topspin. I felt tremendously connected to the string, so I was properly able to gauge how much juice I'm supposed to put into the ball. On another note, drop shots and offensive slicing with the string seemed near perfection. It seemed as if on contact, the strings would effortlessly generate spin, making it very predictable on launch. And not to mention, this is a great string to flatten out balls. Next, power. The power of the string was just perfect. Not too much, not too little. My ball consistently went just a little past the service line, making me have much more wiggle room or margin for error. Piggybacking off the previous topic, it felt even though if you were to overhit, it would reel back in through its spin potential, making it drop in last second. When redirecting the ball, the strings performed quite exceptional. It felt like as if there was just enough power to keep it deep or even push it to another corner. On another note, due to its high launch angle, redirecting for a cross-court shot felt nice due to its net clearance and low power. As a player who likes to hit corner to corner, this string was a blessing. However, a player might come across a problem with its power when defending. I sure did when I entered a tournament and got nervous and started to push the ball corner to corner with no power. Just remember to swing confidently to increase those RPMs and ball penetration through the court for power. Ball pocketing. It took a while for it to soften up, but when it did, the ball pocketing felt immense. It probably wasn't until hour 3 or 4 where I felt it properly pocket the ball. More specifically, after it softened up, it felt almost comparable to the pocketing of that of Headleek's Tour, which makes sense in retrospect to spin potential. Because according to the Tennis Warehouse University, spin potential can be equal to the ball pocketing or string to ball friction divided by the snapback, string to string friction. The higher the difference between the two, the higher spin potential the string will yield. So this string yields high amounts of ball pocketing alongside with high amounts of snapback, or low string to string friction. So the question is, just how comfortable is the string when hitting? Just as marketed, it offered exceptional shock absorption, as do all Toroline strings. This string excels in comfort. In fact, it was so addicting to hit with due to its buttery feeling on contact. Even on off-centered shots, it was almost just as comfortable hitting with center strings in the sweet spot. Although I can see the downsides of this though. If hitting off-center shots is as comfortable as hitting in the sweet spot, it becomes almost muted to a sense where you don't know where you hit the ball onto your strings. To this day, I would say that this is probably the most comfortable string I've played with though. So comfortable that on the first play test, I felt like my strings will pop, which is shown in the video right now. But to be honest, there are more muted strings out there, and I was still able to grasp a good amount of feel on the ball. The better question would be, how well does this string hold up for a long-term playability? Which brings us to our next couple topics. The tension maintenance was above par. As reference, I strung my racket at 48 pounds over the course of 8 hours, including intense hitting with hitting partners and 2 matches in a tournament. The strings are still holding tension pretty well at a playable rate. As previously stated, the strings have severely softened up. However, there was still a surplus amount of snapback amongst the strings, enough to a point where it is still had at least 2 hours on the string. But hey, that's just a rough estimate. In all honesty, I didn't notice any tension drop until maybe around hour 7, which was after the tournament. When I had noticed the tension drop, it had become almost too powerful, sailing ever so out. Sure, it was insanely comfortable to hit with, and I could have just inflicted more spin on the ball, but it was approaching hour 8. Just like in all my string reviews, I won't touch too much on the durability, as it is subjective if you are a string breaker or not. I will just state at what hour they started to notch, and if the strings lasted for 8 hours or not. The durability of this string was quite impressive. Like in all my string reviews, I tend to cut out my strings after hour 8. It has been 8 hours and the strings are still relatively barely even notched. Throughout playing, the string was addicting to hit with. At a certain point in time, while playing with it, it felt like it was going to pop because I was consistently hitting center strings, but I redacted my aggressiveness because it was only hour 1. To my surprise, 8 hours later, the strings are still alive and has life after 8 hours. To be more specific, it started to notch around hour 6, which is quite impressive. Here's some extra footage of me just rallying. By this time I got used to the string. In conclusion, Toroline's Wasabi is seemingly a perfect string. I honestly couldn't find anything bad to say about it. It yields great spin potential being a 4-sided poly, very controlled power through spin allowing for more margin for error. Its ball pocketing is immense and it's almost comparable to Headling's Tor. By the end of it, it still had life and tons of snapback past hour 8. Being a $12 string, I might make an honest switch to it. Please let me know if you have tried the string, tell me if you felt the same way about the string, or comment down below if you had felt differently about the string. But other than that, please like, comment, and subscribe for more TennisBros content. Thanks for watching.